I am a fan of mowing. If you've been following me on any other platform, you know that I read Robert Fulghum and that I mow. And I see issues get bandied about, and I like to take the time to think about them before I express an opinion. Laura has an opinion. So, one of the things I hear people talk about a lot is gatekeeping. That's a buzzword right now. And I asked myself how I feel about that. And I decided that, yes, I gatekeep. Boy, do I fucking gatekeep. But I was having a hard time articulating the reasons why I felt that way and why I felt so strongly. But a couple of things over the last few days have brought that into clarity for me. So it started with me sending off the DNA kits for my two most recent youngsters, Alora and Lyra, if you're following along. And that was followed by a message from a rescue that was reaching out to me. They had two Anatolian-looking sort of dogs, maybe. And they had gotten them from a shelter in New York where someone had brought in 11 dogs. 11. And dropped them at the shelter because, and I quote, they were done breeding. And she had seen my website and saw that I had Anatolians and thought I might want those two. That's a different video. Anyway, so when somebody contacts me and says they would like a pup of a particular gender, which we do not pick pups by gender, my first question always is why? Now, you will typically get two types of people. One type says things like, well, I've always owned female dogs and I just get along with them better, or I don't want a male because of the leg lifting, or I already have a dog and it's the other gender. All right. Is that dog fixed? Have they been altered? Silence. And then they'll come back, usually days later, and be like, yes. No way, motherfucker. You provide proof, or I am not even going to consider your application. Because that right there just set my alarm bells off. And I don't know what you have, but whatever it is, you are not breeding it to one of my dogs. I mentored a breeder once, a young breeder. You'll notice I said once. I've never done it again. You know why? Because I spent several years sharing information, sharing how I make decisions, sharing all of the things that go into running a breeding program, helping pay for things, doing everything I could to help this person start their program successfully. And you know what happened? They did none of the things we had talked about. Ghosted their customers. And then ghosted me. While still having two of my dogs. That was a tough one. I'll let you know how it pans out. What I can tell you is that I will never, ever do it again. If there is a puppy in a litter that I feel is breeding worthy, that motherfucker's going to stay right here. And if that's gatekeeping, then you bet your ass I am going to gatekeep for as long as I am doing this. And if that's something that is going to prevent you from becoming a customer of mine, you have no idea how okay I am with that. So when you contact me and you ask me questions about my breeding program, I will answer them to the best of my ability and provide any information that you are asking for. And then I'm going to ask you why I should sell you a puppy. It's my favorite question. It weeds out more problems than any other question I have ever asked. Because the fact that you have the money to pay for it isn't enough.